Ora, então cá estamos. Vamos continuar com o resumo do fracasso que foi o CES 2026. Eu acho que até nem devia ser fracasso, devia ser vergonha mesmo. Ok? Acho. Melhor não. Devia ser vergonha. Portanto, vamos tentar colocar aqui isto. Acho que está tudo. Estão a ser mais longas. Vamos então abrir aqui a parte da live. Aqui uns vídeos para mostrar. Ok. Temos aqui os gatos a quererem entrar para os quartos com o calor. E agora estamos aqui com uma carrada de gatos. É complicado, principalmente os machos. Estes dois machos mais velhos que ainda não foram castrados nesta fase estão muito quietos. Só um momentinho. Temos gatinhos agora. É maluco. Peço desculpa, mas não posso fazer nada. Ora bem, vamos continuar então aqui a falar um bocadinho da vergonha. Já tinha aqui os vídeos colocados, vamos começar aqui. Temos este é do Paulo Zardoes, eu já sigo este gajo há muito tempo, pá, tem uns vídeos muito porreiros.
CES 2026 from Las Vegas, Nevada is brought to you by Thermaltake, Gigabyte, Asus.
É publicidade deles.
Starting off with the largest and possibly the most expensive product that Gigabyte has on display here, they now have a specialty series super high-end RTX 5090. Apparently NVIDIA
Se tiverem 3.000, 4.000 euros, estão aqui uma gráfica.
has now manufactured enough 5090 GPUs that they can actually source enough of them to make this kind of graphics card. Last year we saw lots of special edition RTX 5080s, so it's cool to see 5090s coming out, even though, as many of you are probably already noting in the comments, this is likely going to be a very expensive graphics card. We have no word on availability or price at this point, so let's just focus on the design, shall we? We have not one fan, not two fans.
Pois ainda por cima, a gráfica é feia que dói.
But actually 3 fans. There is a special fan in the middle called an overdrive fan that will only kick in for boosted airflow to help cool the VRMs. Because the VRMs and the GPU and actually everything on this graphics card are on a special made PCB, which is centered on the card. So I don't know if you can see, but you got pass-through fans, not just down on this end, as is pretty common these days, i.e. the Founders Edition cards, but also over on this end. And you can kind of see where the PCB ends right in there. So more blow through, that has been proven to be an effective cooling method, especially if you have larger fans like these. They're calling this the Wind Force Hyperburst cooling system with patented Hawk fans, because, you know.
Isto é uma gráfica de 4.000 euros, devia trazer tudo em ouro.
Horus, they've got that, isn't it an eagle? Is it an Horus eagle or a hawk? Well, now they've got an Aorus, Eagle, and a Hawk. Also notable with a GPU this size, it's actually not terribly long. I mean, it is a big card. I'm not trying to like convince you guys otherwise there. But this is like their just RX 9070 XT Elite from the Aorus Radeon series, and you can see lengthwise they're roughly the same. Other features include RGB lighting, of course, although this one is not plugged in so it can light up. Oh, and part of the reason they decided to make this card is because it's their 40th anniversary, so they got a little 40 there in the corner as well, to celebrate Gigabyte, 40 years.
Mas faz 40 anos, 4 anos, epá, devia pôr era produto de borla.
Making gigabytes, yes. Aorus Hawk logo in the center as well. It says Aorus Design Lab around the edge. And just some pretty cool aesthetics. Giving you guys a look at sort of the shiny parts on the bulbous ends of this, because it does have fairly bulbous ends. It's like an owl looking at you right now. It's looking into your soul. An owl, or I don't know, what else does this remind you guys of? Let me know in the comments section down below. Gigabyte has a couple motherboards on display.
Eu acho que é uma das poucas coisas que apareceram por lá, não é nada de novo, mas é o lançamento de algumas boards acima da média, ok? E vão ser caras, estes modelos vão ser caros.
Here, this one is visually quite pleasing.
E é a tal coisa que eu já falei no outro vídeo, epá, agora estão a começar a colocar este estilo de madeira, começou nas caixas, agora dentro das próprias boards. Eu acho que isto é feio.
I mean, that's at least my initial impression of it. This is the X870E Aero X3D wood. These X3D motherboards from Gigabyte have special sauce. It is said to be AI powered to get the most out of an X3D processor. I have not tested that myself personally, so this is Gigabyte's information that I'm sharing with you as far as performance uplift and everything. For the moment, though, let's just focus on the aesthetics. We have this nice sort of light colored wood.
Não gosto disto.
Outside. Did confirm with Gigabyte that this is not real wood, this is a synthetic wood, and that is actually a good thing because it looks just like real wood, but it's also not going to be affected as much by thermals, because wood expands and contracts when it gets hot or cold or humidity, that sort of thing, so it does make it a little bit more difficult to work with. They said that they spent a lot of extra time.
Não entendo, não tem nexo nenhum isto estar aqui, nada.
Making sure that since these wood accent pieces are along some parts of the boards that do get warmer, they paid special attention to the adhesive that was in use to make sure that it's going to last for the lifetime of the product. Beyond that, this board has a 16+2+2 phase VRM solution. It's got the M.2 Easy Flex, which are these little tabs that you can pull off in order to remove to access the M.2 drives. It, of course, still has the automatic catch release push button there to release your graphics card or whatever card might be installed in that top PCI Express slot. And a nice set of added features here, like plenty of fan connectivity, RGB LEDs, of course. We got a debug LED that's mounted right here, an extra HDMI out for your integrated graphics on your CPU, and USB connectivity along the bottom, two USB 3.0s, the front panel USB 3.2 Gen 2 header. We even got a couple USB 2.0s down here because that is still important for connecting lots of different peripherals. This board is coming soon. We do not have a price for it quite yet, but Gigabyte is toying around with additional ideas, such as perhaps different wood finishes that they might put on here. Maybe something a little bit darker and like a walnut, perhaps, variety to match with different case aesthetics. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think of that motherboard, what do you think of its look. The next one over here is the X870E Aorus Extreme X3D AI Top. It has a very long name, yes, that is true. But that's because it has lots of features, like an LCD panel that's mounted right there. It's not on right now, but you can see my reflection in it. We have not one, but two 10 gigabits LAN ports integrated. You can see all the I/O back here, including USB-A and Type-C connectors. A very clean-looking full cover for all of your M.2 expansion slots down here. I'm not sure if I'd be able to open this. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick this up. Oh, they put tape on it. That's smart. There we go. I'm hand-holding it. Obviously, I don't want to drop a board like this. Neither does Gigabyte. That's why they put some tape on the back to hold it to the wall. You can see it has a full cover back plate here on the back of the motherboard. Crazy overbuilt VRM solution. That's 24+2+2 phase power delivery for the AM5 socket there and the memory. And we got a little latch down there that opens up to show our M.2 connectivity, where we have 4 M.2 slots, as well as, look, there's a little Oris guy right there who says hi when you pop that off, and you can see the connectors there for the LED that's going to also light up when this panel is in place. Kind of see-through down there at the bottom, too, kind of semi-opaque. That's pretty cool looking. And I didn't even notice, but they've tucked a couple more PCIe expansion slots underneath the cover down there. So obviously you need to access those if you installed more than just like a graphics card in here. So this plastic panel will pop off as well. I don't want to do it all the way because I'm sort of precariously holding this in my hand right now. Aha, it's held on with magnets, so that removes just like that, and that gives you access to the lower 2 PCI Express slots. Okay. Speaking of that X870E Aero X3D wood, here it is, actually installed in a system. This is a custom build for the show. Looks really nice. So here you can see some colored accents on the case, which are matching very nicely with the wood accents on the motherboard. They've also got a PCIe riser cable that moves the graphics card over here into a position of more prominence towards the front of the case for the graphics card, but also giving you a very nice look at that motherboard. So, you know, a lot of motherboards look really nice, very clean if you're into how motherboards look, I guess. It's really cool that in this case they were able to set it up in a way that you can get an appreciative look at it. And you know what would be cool? You know what would be cool? It would be if the graphics card had wood accents on it as well. Would you guys be interested in a graphics card that has wood accents? I'm just curious. Again, if you think that would look cool as sort of a finishing touch for a build like this, let me know in the comment section down below. Right, so the graphics card and the motherboards were the main thing that Gigabyte wanted to show off for this show, but I also wanted to take a look at a couple other clean builds that they have on display. And of course, Gigabyte has monitors. I promised you guys that I'd be taking a look at monitors because it's one of the things that we can kind of get excited about in the world of PC hardware right now, if we're ignoring stuff like memory prices and that sort of thing. Monitor prices have been coming down. Technology that used to be more expensive is becoming less expensive. So the first thing that was explained to me here is how to decipher the model names of monitors, which is always difficult. We have the model number, 27 is 27 inches, the Q is QHD, 28 is 280 hertz refresh rate, G means it's an LG panel that this is built with, and the R stands for rad. So this 20
sem problema, Rodrigo.
hertz
Sem
OLED
problema.
panel is actually already available on the market without the R version. That is the real black glossy, which is a finish that they put on the panel, which both helps out with the black levels and helps you not get sort of a different color like some of the OLED panels can have a reddish or...
Como diz o outro, Rodrigo, a vida é assim, não é? Faz planos para uma coisa e depois pode sair outra. Não tem problema nenhum. Ok? Estás à vontade. Estás à vontade.
purplish sheen, especially if you're in a brightly lit room. So while this is still a glossy panel, you can probably see my reflection in there. It's not going to suffer from as much of the reflective issues that you can have in more brightly lit rooms. And the good news about this one is it should be available very soon, and it's going to cost about $600, which is an excellent price for an OLED panel. This one is also going to be available very soon. We're looking at probably February or March timeframe for this one. This is the MO27Q28GR, so still an LG panel, still 280 hertz refresh rate, still QHD resolution, which is 2560 by 1440. This one specializes in HDR. It actually has up to 1500 nits of peak brightness, and they also have 3 HDR modes that you can switch between that will adjust the HDR-ness of the display to increase or decrease the contrast depending on the content that you're watching, the game you're playing, or what you're doing with the panel. Next, we have the MO32U24. So this one is a 32-inch and 240 hertz refresh rate, and it is a 4K panel, and it is, yes, still an OLED screen. This one we're expecting to come out around the May time frame. We're looking at a price of around $1,000 to $1,100. And if you're not immediately impressed by the fact that it's a 32-inch 4K OLED panel that's 240 hertz refresh rate, consider some of the additional technology built in. It's got the anti-reflection film, like the other panel we looked at down the line, and that also improves the panel.
É depois de fazer depois fazer vídeo só sobre os monitores também, ok?
Less likely to give you micro scratches. But this also has what's called adaptive picture intelligence, which means the monitor is going to be monitoring what you're displaying on the screen. And if you switch, like, say, from a game to productivity or something like that, watch what happens. It's not going to immediately switch color mode, it's going to subtly transition. So it just realized that, oh, looks more like a text, you're doing work, you're doing a PowerPoint or something like that. So it switched over into a mode that's going to give you better contrast with text, that's going to be better for reading and doing productivity, you know, Excel spreadsheets.
Isso depois vamos fazer um monitor sobre isso, ok?
Better for clarity. And I don't know why it has been difficult to manufacture OLED panels with that.
Que eu acho que é importante. Portanto, outra vez, não vale a pena sempre a mostrar o mesmo. Agora vamos aqui a outro youtuber também conhecido.
Tom Logan back with another video for you, and I am at the MSI booth at CES 2026. Now, there's an enormous launch here today, and you've all heard about it already, but it is the Lightning is back. We have got a 5090 Lightning Z. So I'm going to start with that because it is the most over-engineered graphics card I have ever seen. This thing is absolutely...
Esta é a outra gráfica.
Completely honest, the amount of information we've got about this graphics card is a complete overload. So I'm going to try and remember the bits that I can, but it's got a 1000 watt mode. It's the first 1000 watt graphics card as well. 2 proper 12 VH power cables. This is
Vai encarecer.
screen. It's got a full copper.
Encarecer muito esta placa gráfica.
Up to 40% more pressure in there, 70% more flow from the pump. There's 2 stages to the radiator, so that you've got a more dense fin section and then a more.
Já mostrei no outro vídeo também.
Have been designed specifically for it. This thing.
Não recomendo. Sinceramente,
Records all over the place.
não recomendo.
Only going to make 1300 of them. It's got a
Vamos passar para a frente porque acho que é.
screen, and then we get down to the radiator, and here's what I was saying to you about the hybrid flow from before, but let's just go back and take another look at this, because oh my days. Matrix who? I mean, it is just absolutely insane. I'm coming back to try and give you a view of the case as well, because if I'm honest, the case is actually a really big thing for me, because I really bonded internally with the new Maestro 900 when I was here last year. Now the case is slightly smaller now, but they've also made it loads better. So I'm going to try and talk to you about the case now as well. But we're going to stay looking at this build. So you've got a full plate around the bottom. Let me just center the camera because it's been a bit slow today. There we go. So there's a full plate around the...
Eles, impressionante, como eles não tinham nada para mostrar, começaram a mostrar isto.
For the radiators can actually be angled. The whole plate on the inside, so the motherboard tray, that can all come out as one massive piece. I really love the over-engineering on the case. This is actually the top panel, and it is just beautiful. I mean, look at the plates and everything underneath. It is phenomenal. I don't know why the camera's being so slow and dumb today, but I am absolutely...
A caixa é muito interessante, esta caixa.
To the point, I'm going to take you and show you
Agora não é nada de novo, porque já sabem, este ano não houve nada de novo.
the motherboard tray section. That
Por isso é que eu disse que é uma vergonha, não é? Uma vergonha.
ways that you can adjust the base that I said to you about that can be removed. I'm not going to be able to do it with one hand now. There we go. Look, so you can completely remove that, and it's just a lovely trim. I can also show you around the back of this one. I mean, it is an absolute monster of a case. Obviously, I'm having to try and do this one-handed. But here's the spec sheet for the case. It is humongous. I am hearing the price might be somewhere around the 699 mark as well, so it is not going to be something.
A caixa 600 e tal euros. 700.
Okay, so we're going to have a look at the E15 360. This is actually an AIO that I was really looking forward to last year because I did see it and I was a big fan. Now, last year it was just a very big straight screen. They've
Os
introduced
AIOs também agora com esta cena toda.
the detailing on it all is just amazing. I'll show you across the top over here as well with the gold plate around the back. It's so slick. It feels immensely premium. I didn't think I'd ever say this, but I think MSI have designed the best looking liquid cooler I have ever seen. Genuinely hope it performs as well as it looks, but it is outstanding. And when you put it in the new Maestro 900 case, it's just next level. I think it's a shame that we haven't got a version of that AIO with the lightning in this case, because it literally is next level. Now, motherboards, we do have several new motherboards, but the Unify Max is a new.
Esta board já gosto dela, já falei no outro dia também.
Just put it at that. I know some people are going to joke about the fact they've only put 2 DIMM slots on it because you can't get memory, but it is for memory performance. They're hitting well over 10,000 mega transfers a second already on this. Comes with a overclocking dongle, so you can actually overclock when you're in your OS as well. Mentally, the is 220 whatever 28 gigabyte DIMMs. So 256 on 2 now. Yes, I know it's crazy expensive, but let's face facts. We hope it's not going to last like it forever, but it does mean that you can have 2 DIMMs and lots of memory. I'm not entirely sure why you want so much memory for an overclocking system, but anyway, it's there, and it's the new A data memory that they're showing with it running. Okay, so if you're going to get the Lightning, you're going to need a power supply to power it with, and I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be the new A1600. So it's a 1600 watt power supply, and the critical thing is it does actually support the 12 volt 2x6, but it has an immensely cool trick up its sleeve that might even mean that those of you out there with a 1590 might want to upgrade your power supply for it. Okay, so here's the software.
Fontes de alimentação vão subir. Isto é o software que já devia de existir há muito tempo, ok? E eles andaram a protelar esta brincadeira, só que isto vai fazer encarecer uma fonte de alimentação, como é óbvio. Okay?
We can actually add some load, but what they've done is they've added on some switches onto the top here so that we can switch it as if the cable is broken or damaged or not inserted properly. And then after 13 seconds, what you'll see is the amperage drop, and so it shows a break. Then you'll get a flash up on the screen which will tell you it's you've got a problem and you should shut down, and you'll also hear a bleep from the power supply.
Já mostrei este vídeo, esta parte parecido.
Sort of a
fonte de alimentação também em branco é uma coisa que não é nada fora do comum. Aqui já aceito este tipo de assim, não é aquela com imitação de madeira. O que é que vamos fazer?
power supply, lovely white power supply. There's a brand new AIO as well.
Este AIO, pelo menos é decente. Mas o facto de ter isto, a brincadeira que eles agora estão a implementar, isto vai fazer encarecer o AIO.
With it though, they've got the new NVIDIA Pulsar screen on the...
É como eu digo, depois vamos ver, depois vou mostrar um vídeo só sobre, aliás vai ser mais que um, ok? Porque é muita informação, muita informação.
First 5K mini LED. Hey guys, it's Tiny Tim Logan back with another video for you, and I am at the MSI booth at CES 2020.
Se repararam, Isto saltou, foi o gato que meteu aqui o pé naquela opção de avançar com o vídeo. Estes gatos pequenos não dão hipótese. Portanto, vejam aqui o canal dele, e o OC3D TV, ok? É muito interessante também. Continuando, vamos aqui para este vídeo da Horus. Eu não queria muito, vamos por um gosto, como é óbvio, porque eles não merecem. Agora o gato saltou-me aqui para cima.
The flawless material. We used to define high-end by what we could touch. It was beautiful, but it was silent. But silence is no longer the standard. Now we demand a soul beneath the surface. AI breathes life into the machine, the tool into a partner. From static hardware to adaptive intelligence, evolution is not just about looking better. It is about thinking further. We are redefining luxury with the power of mind. This is the new shape of high-end. We redefine the moment and define the future.
A apresentação toda aqui, PTO. Né?
Hello everyone, nice to see you again at the Gigabyte event. Over the past year, we have watched AI reshape the way we work,
Mas
the way we
não vou permitir. Não vou permitir estar a mostrar um vídeo que eles ponham-se a falar de inteligência. Ok? Tudo tanga. Nem sequer sabe falar. Como é que empresas de bilhões fazem esta brincadeira? Okay? É surreal, para mim é surreal. Boards também já apresentei.
Is your ultimate booster for your ultrabooks in this world of AI. We're also excited to unveil the AI Box GPU Selector, an intuitive control panel that lets you assign programs to specific GPUs with ease. For example, if you have a gaming laptop and an AI box, simply assign your game to a more powerful GPU for optimal performance, while running some side tasks on the other. Both run smoothly without interference. By offers the
Vamos passar para a frente, que eu isto já me fartei de falar.
Smarter insights, and real-time system control. Everything you AI
É outra coisa que não interessa nada.
no longer rocket science.
Isto é tudo treta. É? Esta para mim acho que ainda foi apresentaram isto tipo vídeo, nem sequer foi um direto. Ok? Não aceito isto. Não aceito isto como uma empresa multimilionária. Não. A gente tem que marcar uma regra. É isto que eles querem vender. Ok? Portanto, vamos ficar por aqui, como eu disse. Uma vergonha pegada. Ok? Uma vergonha pegada. Não tenho nenhuma palavra para dizer de bom sobre isto. Foi isto que aconteceu. Depois, eu depois vou fazer o vídeo com os monitores, tá bom? Que são vários. Depois vamos focar em alguns interessantes, tá bom?